What's up YouTube? This is MathWiz97 and welcome to episode number 1 of my WWE 2K17 Universe mode. That's right, it's time for another brand new season of WWE Gaming, which means yet another season of Universe mode. Now for those of you who are just now discovering my channel, this is the 5th installment of my Universe mode that I started way back in WWE 13. Since this series has been going on for so long, there's a lot of information that you'll be missing, and that's why this video will not be featuring any in-ring gameplay from WWE 2K17 itself. Instead, this video mainly serves as a setup of things to come, as well as a recap of the events of the series thus far. I'd like to give you an opportunity to familiarize yourself with what's going on before jumping straight into an ongoing storyline. To give you a helping hand, I've provided you with 3 options. The first is to skip the recap and dive straight into the customization process for 2K17. There will be a timestamp in the description that you can click, and it will take you straight to the customization. So if you've been subscribed for a while, or if you just don't care about the backstory, you can click that timestamp. Personally, I think that new viewers should choose one of the 2 remaining options so that you're not going in completely blind, but that's your call. The second option is to travel back to the previous recap episodes that I've made over the past several years for each new game. This is the quickest way to learn about the history of my entire Universe mode without having to watch a bunch of episodes. Between the 3 of them, it'll take you less than half an hour to watch, and you'll get an abridged but complete recap of all the important bits. I've left links to each of those in the description as well as links on your screen right now. Feel free to check out those videos before continuing on to the recap of 2K16 in just a few moments. For those of you who are still with me, you've made it to option 3, to view the recap of last year's series before moving on to this year's. Let's get to it. WWE 2K16's calendar consisted of 3 weekly shows: Raw, SmackDown, and Main Event. My Universe mode has always had a brand split, so Raw and SmackDown each have their own rosters while Main Event serves as the cross-branded show. Monday Night Raw has the World Heavyweight Championship and the United States Championship, while SmackDown has both the WWE and Intercontinental titles. The tag team titles are not brand exclusive, so those champions can compete on both brands. The Divas Championship was also brand neutral, so it followed the same rules. However, during this game cycle, the Divas division was temporarily put on hiatus, and as such, the Divas title has been retired. The Women's division will be returning in WWE 2K17, but the Women's Championship will be vacant. Stay tuned for the next episode where the future of the Women's division will be addressed by one of the McMahons themselves. At the start of the series, the World Heavyweight Champion was Dolph Ziggler, the United States Champion was Cesaro, the Tag Champs were the Ascension, the Divas Champion was Paige, the WWE Champion was CM Punk, and the Intercontinental Champion was Titus O'Neil. Starting with the Divas Championship, the title was retained by Paige in a 6-woman battle royal before she went on to lose the belt to Nikki Bella in a triple threat at Night of Champions. Following the event, the division was suspended and the title was retired. The Tag Team Championships were defended against the New Day at SummerSlam, as well as the team of Jack Swagger and Tyson Kidd at Night of Champions. The belts changed hands at Battleground when Hideo Itami and Finn Balor defeated the Ascension. Balor and Itami went on to defend the gold at Survivor Series against the Lucha Dragons, as well as at Fastlane against New Day. Moving on to the United States Championship, Cesaro defended the title in a championship scramble match at SummerSlam. At Night of Champions, he defeated Titus O'Neil in a title versus title match, which also saw Cesaro capture the IC title for himself. At Battleground, Cesaro's 196-day reign came to an end when Baron Corbin won the belt in a triple threat match that also included Samoa Joe. Baron Corbin went on to defend the US title at Survivor Series in a rematch against Cesaro, before defending it again at Fastlane against Sami Zayn. As for the Intercontinental title, before Titus lost it to Cesaro at Night of Champions, he did retain it in a 2 out of 3 falls match against Darren Young at SummerSlam. After Cesaro won the title, however, the Swiss Superman quickly lost it to Kevin Owens on an episode of SmackDown, thus cutting his reign short at just 11 days. Kevin Owens went on to defend the title against Titus O'Neil at Battleground, before vacating the title in the following episode of SmackDown. The now vacant title was up for grabs at Survivor Series in a match between Stardust and Darren Young. After Stardust defeated Young, he went on to retain the belt in a double countout against Chris Jericho at Fastlane. Next up is the World Heavyweight Championship, which changed hands at SummerSlam when Ryback defeated Dolph Ziggler. Ryback went on to defend the title at Night of Champions, Battleground, Survivor Series, and Fastlane against Edge, Randy Orton, Christian, and Seth Rollins respectively. Following his match with Rollins, however, Ryback was forced to defend his championship once more against a returning Dolph Ziggler. Unfortunately for Ryback, Ziggler walked out the victor and the new World Heavyweight Champion. If you want to know exactly why Ziggler received this opportunity seemingly out of nowhere, here's a link to episode 55. where Ziggler explains the situation following his return from injury at Survivor Series. I'd like to keep this video short and sweet, so I'm not going to explain that whole scenario here. As for the WWE Championship, it too changed hands at SummerSlam when Brock Lesnar cashed in Daniel Bryan's Money in the Bank contract against CM Punk. With both Punk and Bryan now on the sidelines, Brock Lesnar went on to defend his prize against John Cena and Roman Reigns at Night of Champions and Battleground respectively. At Survivor Series, we returned to the Kevin Owens show when KO won the WWE title in a triple threat match that also included the King of the Ring winner Titus O'Neil. Owens went on to retain the belt in a rematch with Brock Lesnar at Fastlane in a Match of the Year caliber encounter. Speaking of Match of the Year, did you know that the Universe Mode Slammy Awards are coming up? In fact, the nominees have already been announced. If you want to participate in the second annual Universe Mode Slammy Awards, be sure to check out the nominations as well as cast your vote using the links in the description. The first will take you to the video, the second will take you to the polls, but if you're going to vote, I'd really appreciate it if you actually checked out some of my previous content. I won't be hosting the official awards video until around Wrestlemania, so you'll have several months to go back and watch all the matches. I'll be sure to announce when I'm ending the voting period, so you won't have to worry about missing out. I'd hate to have the votes skewed by people who have no idea why each thing is being nominated in the first place. I hope you all enjoyed the brief recap of WWE 2K16. If you want to stay up to date on my Universe Mode Championship history, be sure to check out my list over on the Brennan Plays forums. With that being said, it's time to enter the world of WWE 2K17. Let's go! Hello and welcome now to the main menu here in Universe Mode for WWE 2K17. So without any further delay, let's just dive right into the calendar here. So as you can see, we've got our three core shows, Raw and SmackDown being the two main brands, and of course main event the cross-branded show. We are on the road to WrestleMania, so we've got Royal Rumble coming up later this month. We've got Roadblock. Of course, Roadblock is not actually in the game, it's just the logo, so I'm gonna have to get a custom arena on Community Creations at some point, but we'll be able to take care of that in due time. And then of course WrestleMania coming up in just a few months. It's exciting times here for the series, but we're gonna go ahead and take a look. Okay, so I'm not sure how that tag team came about. I'll have to look into that. Anyways, the championships for Monday Night Raw. Now, I'm not going to be able to show you guys SmackDown in this similar sort of fashion because of the way Universe Mode is set up this year, the way everything's laid out show by show. It kind of goes against my usual way of displaying everything, so unless I have some Universe Mode, like more Universe gameplay recorded by the time I edit this video and I can just sort of snap my fingers and it'll be in the video right now. I doubt it. But yeah, I'll get to that in a little bit. You see who our champions are. But let's take a look at the roster for Monday Night Raw. So of course, we have the World Heavyweight Champion Dolph Ziggler. We've got Rusev, Seth Rollins, Cesaro, Dean Ambrose, Samoa Joe, Randy Orton, Hideo Itami, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin, Alberto Del Rio, Kane, Big Show, Zack Ryder, R-Truth, Bo Dallas, Goldust, Blake, Murphy, Heath Slater, Curtis Axel, and Fandango. That's of course always the best part about these videos is marathoning the superstars on each roster. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a brief glimpse of the tag teams here in this game. So we've got, you know, of course, before you also ask, looking at the rosters and you're thinking, oh, well, where's all the new superstars? Where's American Alpha? Where's The Revival? Where's AJ Styles? Where are all these people? Well, just hold on, just calm down. They haven't debuted in my series yet, and rather than just putting them on a brand and just pretending like they were on my show the whole time, I'm gonna wait it out. I'm gonna come up with an idea. Of course, a lot of these guys I already have an idea as to when they're gonna debut, how they're gonna debut, what kind of role they're gonna fulfill. So just be patient. Be patient. I know what I'm doing. I think so. I think I know what I'm doing. So anyways, looking at the tag teams here, we've got mostly the same ones that are in the game. However, there are a few different additions, of course. Hideo Itami and Finn Balor. That's a team I had to make myself. Kid and Swagger, that's another one that I had going on from the previous game that carried over into this year's. You did, well, I should say, you did not see Breezango because that is not a tag team that I made. So therefore they do not exist in this universe mode. Then there's the Outcasts, currently comprised of Curtis Axel and Heath Slater, although they're looking for new members, so perhaps that group could expand in due time. Primetime players as well. whatever WWE's doing with them, I don't really know. It's like back and forth. They'll split up and then they're together. It always seems to go like at the opposite timing of what I'm doing in my universe mode. So when I split them in my series, they join forces again, and by the time I put them back as a tag team, they... Okay, well, first of all, this is bothering me. I don't... The game must have orchestrated that itself. That's not happening. Randy Orton, Bo Dallas, that's not a tag team. No. So anyway, those are the tag teams. You see them all right there. Couple that I had to make, but otherwise, not much going on there. So that is going to be it for this first episode of WWE 2K17 Universe Mode. I almost said 2K16. You know, you go for so long getting into the habit of just saying that you just, bleh, it just happens. But anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. Be sure to stay tuned for more. Next episode, we're going to be tackling some actual in-ring gameplay, and that should be exciting. So be sure to stick around for that. Thank you for checking out this video. I hope you enjoyed it. This sort of like second half kind of rambled a little bit, but we'll get that fixed for next time. So anyways, like I always say, keep on YouTubing.